Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's time for the Day 9 Daily Funday Monday Part 3, where I'm closer than expected. Ha! Alright, that was fun. Guys, look at the inside of my mouth. Alright, cool. Wasn't necessary. Funday Monday was not made better by that. It was not. It was not assisted. And I brush my teeth. Brush my teeth and I wear my retainer, which I fucking hate doing. I hate wearing a retainer. I feel like I'm trying to take care of a corpse every time I have to clean that stupid retainer. Oh my god. And like, why would you dust a skull, right? That's what it's like with the retainer. Just brushing my stupid retainer and it bends and sometimes it breaks and I have to like call and be like, yeah, I need to get another copy of my mouth outline to keep my mouth in line with what it looked like on a good day, please. And then she's like, $1 million to get it. I have to send it to her. She sends it back. I still have to brush it. You know, okay, sometimes you get up in the morning, you have to I have to like peel it off, like rip it out of your mouth, and it smells like your mouth, and I just like, just like put away and close it. I don't want to deal with it. Part of me just wants to have hideous, awful teeth. Like what I used to have. I enjoyed my chipped tooth. My chipped tooth was cool, man. Oh, it was cool. I thought it was awesome. People, how'd you get your chipped tooth? And it was always something different. You know, like, oh yeah, I just got in a fight with a Nazi and bit him in his metal eye, and they're like, whoa, you're like Indiana Jones. I'm like Indiana Jones with a TV show, and they're like, oh, that's so awesome. There's nothing awesome about having straight teeth, except people are like, oh, he's straight teeth. You don't have a story about straight teeth. You can always make up a story. Yes. Gatsoku Banu asks, didn't your grandpa chip your tooth? He did. He was not, he wasn't a Nazi robot bear, like what I tell most, ladies. What happened is, Nick's my brother, the infamous, I can't speak, the infamous Tasteless from the, GSL. You should totally watch him at gomtv.net. My brother Nick and I, did anyone not know he was my brother? I'm just curious. Did anyone know? Everyone did know my brother's Tasteless, right? Because, like, I once told that to someone who worked at MLG, and then, he looked at... He just, looked back at us, and then he began convulsing and puked blood. It was terrifying. It was really... I don't want anyone to die today, is what I'm saying. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Yeah, Nick's my brother, and I think I was like 6 and Nick was 8. And my mom and my grandma were gone off doing some shopping, so it was just Nick and me and Grandpa, which means that whenever that happened, whenever Mom would come home, Grandpa would have to explain why there was some gaping wound on a leg and why we were both laughing or something. You know, we had a lot of fun with Grandpa. It was really great. And we were playing this particular game where here's the game, because kids always have their games with their sort of funky rules, and this was the game we were playing. So what you do is you lie down on your back on the ground, and it was the summer in Kansas. It was a beautiful sunny day. It's a little humid. It's like mid-high 80s, low 90s, which is like 32 centigrade or whatever. And we'd be sitting there looking up at these beautiful white clouds, cerulean blue sky, and my grandpa would punt a soccer ball up into the air as high as he could, and we would just lie on our back and hope that it wouldn't hit us. And there it was. That's the whole game. And it was really fun because sometimes we'd get hit. So Grandpa would just like kick it, and we'd be like, ha 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 ha, just watching it, and they'd be like, bam, ha 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 ha, bam, just like bouncing around our small bodies. And when you're 8, I don't even think you have bones. You just kind of have like a soft gelatin, like you're like you know, like your head's basically like a hard-boiled egg when you're that age. So I'm pretty sure this was not okay for you, but that's what we were doing. I remember Nick, like, for instance, at one time, like, hit his stomach. It was just like the ball was up there, and then it was just on his stomach, and it didn't even like hit and bounce off. It just like landed on his stomach and stopped. Like his stomach ate the whole wealth of the momentum of that soccer ball. And if I were like a comic book artist drawing this out as a frame, and I had to write the sound, I would say that it was a thwack. Thwack is the noise of a high-velocity leather ball hitting the bare stomach of an 8-year-old boy. And we thought this was great. Like, he was like, "Oh!" And Grandpa was like, "Ha ha 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 ha!" He's laughing, and I'm like, "Ah, Nick lost the game where you try to not die." So then, we kept playing this. We were totally not done. And so Grandpa punts, and again, like I see it cross the sun like Superman on the way to save Lois again. Can she get in more trouble? Jesus. So it's like going through, and I'm sort of seeing, I'm trying to like squint, and all of a sudden I just noticed that I'm looking at just a ball. Like it was up there by the sun, and then it was here, and then I just saw a lot of white. It just went like kathrudge, and I feel like it just sort of went, like it sort of like enveloped my face and sort of went out, and I like bit my teeth really hard, and it chipped. And that's what happened. I think I tell this story differently every time. The story just depends on my mood at the time. I'm feeling pretty mellow on this Funday Monday. I'm having a good time talking about Oregon Trail and thwucks and kathrudges. And that was my mom's. It was actually the back of the tooth. I didn't cry. I was like, "Ow, ha!" Blood. And Nick was like, "Ah, now you lost. Now we're tied." And Grandpa was like, "Oh, let's eat waffles." And we were like, "Grandpa!" Oh, he was so awesome. Oh, yes. So, once upon a time, there was a man named Dad Zurg. Dad Zurg. Oh, Dad Zurg. Now he's not Father Zurg, like Darth Vader or Ned Stark. They're fathers. This is Dad. This is Dad, who always has socks that come up a little bit above the ankle and says things like, "Well, we should save up for a computer." Says things like that, like, "Well, did you get your homework done? Well, okay then." It's good to hear. He gets really excited about a book. Dad Zurg. Good old Dad Zurg. Oh, Michael Crichton is an excellent author. Okay, his opponent from Team Nutlow is Karl Vas Flam. Good old Karl Vas Flam. Dad Zurg. It's just as Crazy Chris 576, Dad Zurg has all of his taxes paid in March. Now, Dad Zurg, whose name is written Dad Zarg, and I don't give a shit. His name's Dad Zurg, alright? That's who he is now. I don't care. I need to do some explaining about the term nutlow, because I think a lot of you are considering testicles, but I would instead guide you towards poker. The best hand on a given board in poker is called the nuts. So if you were in a position where you had a royal flush, you'd be like, "I have the nuts." And they would go, "Golly gosh darn, I have the second nuts. I have a straight flush from 9 to king." So I don't know why they do that. I think it is stupid. All slang in poker makes not any sense in the world. And the reverse of that is if you, there's some variants of poker where there's a high hand and a low hand. The low hand is like the worst possible hand. So it'd be like ace 2 3 4 5 or ace 2 3 4 6, and you call that the nut low. Aren't we learning to be better gamers here? Is that not fantastic? Yes. The nut low. Sometimes poker players use it sort of socially to describe things that are bad. Like, "Oh god, this ice cream is the nut low." Like, I do not like this ice cream. Ugh. No matter how much you know about poker, all stories will always be the same. So then I did this, and then that, and this happened. So I thought maybe if he did this, he'd fold, but he did. And then the river. Oh, what? Okay. Dads are, well, I like a good investment. Let's go ahead and take ourselves a little bit of a gold expansion. It seems like a mighty healthy play. Good old Calvas Flam. Calvas Flam. Who sounds like some sort of vampire with a cold. I am Calvas Flam. Going for the expand. I'm not sure where he's from, but he yells a lot. Jeez. So Dad Zerg, I'm going to go ahead and go for his pool, and then expand. Dad Zerg. Good old Papa Daddy Dad Zerg. Now he might not be a quad to milkman, but he certainly has a special place in my heart. So, Calvas Flam. Now, I will note, Cal is doing more or less a really solid standard build opening. Expand first. Reactor factory. This reactor is a little late, but second factory following up. This is actually going to time out nicely for the specific build he is doing, which is to go double factory, double reactor. But we see the fourth expansion right now down for Dad Zerg, who's casting the net wide as he wears his comfortable Birkenstocks. Going ahead and getting the spine crawler, getting map coverage. I want to see if he moves out there. It seems pretty gosh darn good. Calvas Flam, he watches innovation play. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Double factory Hellion and a starport with a Viking against someone who has only just now finished Geysers 1 and 2. Oh, yes. And what is that? An armory? Do you think he's going to go Hellbats? Because he is. So Cal, the first scout he's done all game long. This is one of the funniest things ever, is because in like every discussion of like legit high-level strategy, like on Tuesdays or something, like every single strategy discussion is about like, well, you don't really need to scout if it's not going to change your build. I mean, most Zergs will be behaving in this way anyways. You should always just check for the placement of their third base with your first set of Hellions. It's never like, well, first check the gold expansion, because he might be playing Funday Monday. And you don't want the Zerg to have the gold saturated at the frickin' 7-minute and 30-second mark. Strategy. So Calvas Flam is going to find his way into the base. Alright, it's time for Slowlings versus Hellions and soon to be Hellbats. Hang in there, Dad Zerg. Hang in there. The Viking falls. The Viking's about to do some essential scouting. This base is really in bad shape. And it's just drones. Just mass droning production, getting speed. Trying to really just wing it. And then suddenly, uh-oh. Oh, the creep. And he creeps. Yeah, reveals his creep together. Oh man, I love that song almost as much as I love To Not Chase Waterfalls. Some good old Dad Zerg, who probably knows the lyrics to Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls. Perhaps some early Mariah Carey. Owns all the albums. Perhaps some Modest Mouse in there. Maybe he's a really cool dad. Either way, our Zerg plays, and he's in pretty bad shape. He's in pretty bad shape. We're getting more Hellions up there. Trying to dodge as best he can. Get out of the way. But that's fine. Everything that's going on back at the base for Dad Zerg is pretty good. And at this point, we've only lost a modest 12 workers. And a lot of other things. And 5, 6 overlords. Oh, jeez. Look, we've only lost 6 overlords. That's only 48 supply that we can't have anymore. That's fine. And Calvas Flam really trying to exploit the high ground, which, interestingly, I didn't even know was high ground until I watched this replay. I don't think I've ever taken the center in this map. It's just not something that I've ever been one to do. So, alright, great. Calvas Flam. Doing the Hellbat drops, it's no problem. We've only lost a modest amount of drones. Alright, we got one. And, okay, they're all dead. And we have this expansion. Alright, Dadzerg. Oh, I'm going to just go ahead and get focused here. I'm just going to pull out a spreadsheet and plan out my next maneuver. And afterwards, I was thinking of going to Home Depot and buying 2x4s just to own them. They're a useful tool. Dadzerg. Whoops. Accidentally pausing up the game. Calvas Flam really applying the pressure pretty hard, going for Hellbat Tank, getting up an armory for the extra upgrades. Actually, just getting 3 armories, I guess, to upgrade everything that comes out of that. 3rd Command Center already done. Now, as Calvas Flam, you gotta be, at the very least, aware that this is an unusual situation. You don't really wind up in this spot as a Terran buddy. A Zerg who's just relentlessly expanding, just like spots every expansion as well. Well, you know, we accidentally rewound 10 seconds, so we can catch that again. Oh, and by the way, Blizzard Entertainment fixed the bug that occurred when you rewind and move forward on the sound tracker. Blizzard fixes it all. They fixed it, man. Yeah, that like literally applies to only me. That was so great. I like submitted the bug report and everything. I was like, here's a link to the dailies and all this. And it was fixed. Who, like, that will literally only affect me, I think. And they fixed it. Pretty cool. Well, I'm Dadzerg, and I found something that I was concerned about, so I went to the official channels and reported it accordingly. And it's important now to simply wait. Alright, Hellbats. Oh, Calvas Flam is in fact not a German vampire with a lisp. And a cold. I said lisp when I meant to say cold. I hate it when that happens. I'm feeling really under the weather. Oh god, I have a lisp. I just don't know if I can come into work today. It's a bad lisp. Like my throat hurts, like I'm congested. The lisp is just is brutal. I love the idea that Calvas Flam, who is as cool enough to be in Clan Nutlow, knowingly, oh, I want to play poker and my clan is the Nutlow, that he talks like this. And I always imagine that he actually speaks this way in real life. Like, my hamburger isn't cooked very well, it's rare. Does he speak like that? Like, goes into an elevator, please push the first floor, boom! Push for the first floor! I think that he does now. I mean, at the very least, he types, are you? Fucking scared chicks gold expansion by his children, his dead Zerg. A lot of saliva involved in this dialect. There's sort of like central, neutral Midwestern. There's San Francisco urban, Southern Californian dialect. There's the Nutlow aggro donk. Good hamburgers. I don't know, ask day 8. 9 is what I meant. Dadzerg typing in caps. Uh-oh, the push in the middle. Hello, say the mutalisks. Hello. Alright, so far so good. I mean, if I'm Dadzerg, I'm gonna be more than content with the fact that we've only lost a modest 47. It's not a big deal. We still actually, we kind of have 3 bases. Alright. Dadzerg, uh-oh. I gotta be a little bit more watchful about those widow mines. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. It was a learning experience. And if first you expand to the gold, expand again. We may as well take a 5th at this point. We've been going for 4 bases, no matter what. So we're gonna get the speed. We're gonna get the roaches. I don't think we even have any upgraders yet. Nah, it doesn't look like there's any sort of upgrader or greater spire or anything that involves the word greater with it. Tank, mine, Hellion. Where you gonna go? Tries to sneak into the main base, kills off Tech Lab. Ain't no stim going down there. Dadzerg, totally spotted by a mine. Well, they can target larva. Lesson learned. And in the meantime, push at this base. Alright, Dad Zerg's trying to hang in there. Be careful. Be very careful. That was the scariest thing that Dad Zerg has ever done. This is a high-wired Dad. High-wire acting Dad. About to be up against somewhat of a difficult push to deal with the Widow Mines. Soon enough, we'll have alligator clips, so they will be able to burrow very quickly. There's a mine in the main causing a little bit of trouble. The main base is fine. The second base is fine. It's really this bottom side. Will Dad Zerg prevail? It's gonna be close, especially with these mines there. It's starting to go off. And he's okay. He's okay. He's good. He's gonna try to get around these. He's gonna. All right. Yes. Absorb the hits. All right. Cool. Back to just macroing out of our 5 bases. All right. Nice. Terran's a little high on the money. Hopefully will not be as high on bases, because that would be quite difficult to come back from, but no big deal. Hive coming right on time at 18 minutes. The +1 air attack upgrade. All is well that starts this well. 2/2 upgrades en route for the Terran player, who continues to macro. Now, I'm enjoying the fact that at this point in time, Dad Zerg has only lost a modest 56 drones, and right now has 70 on the map. I think this is a wise decision. If your opponent has 5 bases, you may as well do your darndest to make sure that he cannot make use of those 5 bases via drops, harassment, attacks, keeping the base count low. Dad Zerg doesn't really have saturation there. I think speed makes a lot of sense. I think these spines make a lot of sense. I think rebuilding drones upon the corpses of the old dead drones makes a lot of sense. APM-wise, oh yeah, real pro gamer. Dad Zerg has very strong fingers. Sentences that should not be said out loud. Sentences one must be careful permitting to leave the mouth. Dad Zerg just committed a felony by being in the same sentence as that, and that was not my goal, and for that I'm sorry, that was wrong. Rule 34, guys. There is porn of Dad Zerg here on the Day 9 Daily. I didn't realize. Is there an adult here? I think we need, at the very least, some sort of chaperone to give consent. Did you all get your permission slip signed? Dad Zerg would be a real stickler on that one. Ugh, speaking of sticklers, this queen is dead. Alright, so Calvas Flam hanging out at the right side, getting out all the tanks, building more command centers, as all the good Mechen players do. 6 Vipers coming up, 6 engineering bays. Is this actually the first set of engineering bays, or 6 evolution chambers? Are these completely unupgraded? Yeah, he has no upgrades. Okay, cool. Sometimes you just gotta build a turret to kill an overlord. Sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes, when you start off playing StarCraft, you go supply depot, engineering bay, turret. Just to kill that overlord, and then you move on with your day. There's the Hydralisk Den now going down. There is the +1 of this one, and where's this one being researched? Oh, there it is. These are the 2 researching. Gotta be careful not to consume from them. I have made that mistake before. Staying kind of even. Kind of even. This is some nice positioning by Cal. Some poor positioning by those Mutalisks, who amazingly have actually found a vulnerable spot. Oh man, thank you, thank you, thank you. Tank's having some real issues. Gonna have to pull back. Uh-oh, Blinding Cloud, yoinking him. Alright, Dad Zerg. Dad Zerg, Dad Zerg. Trying to make his attempts to step forwards. Gotta be careful, the Vipers do have armored upgrades. That means these Thors will not really do as much damage as the 2 tanks in the middle of the map. Uh-oh, Dad Zerg. Oh, noes. Dad Zerg makes an error and will not be receiving a sufficient refund this year. 8 more Vipers in production. 1-1 almost finished versus the already complete 2-2. Adrenal Gland, thank God he gets that upgrade, that's so cool. If one expand goes down, another one pops up. Just like adolescent acne. Dad Zerg taking out the supply depots. Taking out the bases. Uh-oh. It's the big push right now from Calvas Flam that's the concern. This 3rd base is really the only functioning mining spot for Calvas Flam. More drones having a little bit of trouble here. You know, right now it's kind of okay, because Zerg still has 59 workers. He's only lost 93 this game, so that's not a big deal. He's still well ahead in that regard. I mean, he's ahead in the units lost tab. Hopefully that won't be true for too much longer. We got our Mutalisk picking away at our orbital command, the Thors getting snatched up again. The moment of truth. Will Blinding Cloud be enough? Totally, man. It never hasn't been enough. It was just the right amount. Oh, Dad Zerg! Taking him out. Dad Zerg bringing on a little bit of pain. Tanks going just willy-nilly. Like, where are these tanks going? Some more Hellions moving up to kill off some more drones. That's fine. Drones are pretty expendable for Zerg. They can just rebuild those with the D button. 102 drones killed off. It's no big deal. Boss Blinding Clouds, in fact, has 9 Vipers. A very useful number to have. Very good, Dad Zerg. Taking the base. Just finished that bottom right. Taking the left. Center is effectively mined out. Oh, Thor gets got over there. And Cal is in a little bit of an awkward position. These are not Hellbacks, these are just Hellions. They're not really as good in the engagement. Oh! All of them! Every single tank! There is no tank that can fire right now. Re-sieging up. Oh, and he's pulling back Calvas Flam. Uh-oh. Oh. Khaleesi Vassar Flamingo. From Team Nutwell. Not in the greatest of spots. Retaking his own 4th. Bases in every location from Dad Zerg. So he actually did spot that. He's trying to move out. And it's 1A time. Dad Zerg is still not in a winning position. But he is certainly in a winnable one, especially with Blinding Clouds like that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The tank's just hanging out. You know, I'm not really feeling... I'm worried that he actually might lose a significant number of drones in this attack. This is the attack I'm really worried about, the workers killed count that's going to happen for Dad Zerg. And there's the Burrow. If there's a follow-up scan that could possibly... This could be bad. He's 127 kills. 28. Do you get 29? How do you get to 132? I don't know how that's possible, but Cal, there might be some statistics hack in here where you're losing, but it like shows your APM is higher than it is and shows the workers killed is higher than it is. That's the sort of hack I would go for. It's basically like lying about your weight on your driver's license. Oh, really? Oh, really? You weigh 110. Is that so? Oh. Well, it's interesting, because I weigh 165. Genuinely. I weigh 165 pounds. Let's be honest, guys. I weigh 220 pounds. I am 6'4". That means that I'm 76 inches tall. Which means that I weigh 3 pounds per inch. I am not proud of that number. I want my PPI to be much lower. I want to be able to go to a club, or a bar, or a social event, and show ladies my PPI. That's what I want. Dropping down my pounds per square inch. Or pounds per inch. It's not square inch. There's nothing about me that's square. I'm very barrel-like. Alright, Dad Zerg deciding to get aggressive. Can he get aggressive with the Vipers? And right now, if you're nut low, Calvas Flam, your brain is exploding. It is considerable to note that versus a meching player, you can take way more bases than you can against your regular old bio player, because meching players have a really hard time killing off hatcheries. They can only really kill hatches with direct pushes. So expand, I say, take all the bases. Oh, a gold expansion. I remember when I did that, and I also remember what countered it. shooting it in the face with guns. See ya later. Expo down. Starting to get close to that maxed zone. The blinding cloud's too good. I mean, if throwing sand in the face of your enemy, or enemy, what happened to my tongue? What is going on with my tongue? I better not say any words like eclectic anytime soon. That my tongue might just fall out and be like, I'm done. I'm done with you, Sean. I'm not going to say anything anymore. So I guess we've identified Dadzerg as a sea enemy. Or perhaps he needs an enema. Like, I don't know. It is Dadzerg, but the enemy was a word I was using in a sentence earlier. I can't even remember. Alright. Sean's tongue is so done. He's fed up. Burbling. I will not do any burbling. Okay. Ultralisk popping out. Very sparsely populated mining locations. 136 drones killed off this game. Kalvas Flom sets himself up nicely. Neatly tucked away in the middle of the map. More drones down. I think he's up to 140. Oh yeah, you betcha. But that's fine. Ultra Hydra. Ultra Hydra's not a problem. It's going to be mass Hellbat production. All the Hellbats just holding that R button, the pirate keyboard for Kalvas Flom, working out great. He's been from a different region essentially every 10 minutes in this cast. Dadzerg knocking it all down. Hellion's not good against Ultralisks. That is for certain. Alright, Kalvas Flom. Did Dadzerg do it? Did Dadzerg do it? I mean, both of you are playing mighty fast with them 330s, 80s, Ms. Uh-oh, he's making the push, but Hellbat Tank Thor is strong, but not strong enough. Maybe... No, not quite strong enough. Not quite enough. 92 to 40. Very good for Dadzerg. Heading to the middle of the map, taking out this base. And suddenly, the grin appears on Dadzerg's face. He might have to put a pot roast in and eat a tasty meal in like 72 hours. He has the patience to wait for something that's tasty. Oh, yes. Oh, look at that big old pack of Hellbats. And the army tab looks kind of even. 142 workers killed, 78 workers killed for the enemy. Let's see how Hellbats fare against Ultralisks. That's not well. So much greed, says Kalvas Flom with a silent T. Holy shit, says Dadzerg. Okay, I want you to note that there's two conversations going on. One is the elated red. Holy shit, I can't believe that worked. LOL, GG. And there's the other conversation, which begins, how does that shit work? It's like a 10-letter curse word or something like that. OP race. Is it 1, 2, 3? It's 4. It's 4 letters. Bag. There's a couple things that are like bleep bag. Probably a shit bag is what he said. But I think that was a really thrilling example of how, as long as you have a solid strat, such as 4 bases before gases, you can succeed even against the most skillful of Master League players. So that was Funday Monday. Hope you enjoyed yourself. I wanted to let you know there is a probability, a non-zero probability, that I will not be doing a Day 9's Day Off this week or a Funday Monday. I think it would be like one or the other. I mean, I might be doing both, or I'll be doing one of them, but one of them might get canceled because I have scheduling issues. However, the next Day 9's Day Off, for when it occurs, will be Portal, which, amazingly, I've never played through. Portal. Portal. Never played through Portal or Portal 2. Ugh. So I'm going to do that. Next week's Funday Monday is simple. Simple, and cruel. For next week's Funday Monday, please submit to me your most devious of cheeses. That's it. The devious cheese. Funday Monday. Doesn't necessarily mean rush. You could hide all sorts of bases, all that sort of stuff. Just submit the most devious cheese that you can think of. Something that, hidden buildings, surprise attacks, angry opponents. Be great. Submit those to Monday at day9.tv. I'll see you all this week for some good old hardcore analysis. Major League Gaming's WCS schedule actually ends right at the time that the daily starts. So I will remind you that from 7 p.m. all the way back to 3 p.m., so it's 3 p.m. Pacific to 7 p.m., all the time leading up to the daily, is the WCS stuff. And I say this because I'm hoping to do some analysis of those games as well. Coordination. I'm hungry. I'm going to go get a donut. You have a great day.